Yo, what is up guys, I'm going to the back with another video, and before we start the video, thank you so much for 75,000 subscribers. It is mad, we've reached a new mad goal, and yeah, we're over 75k now, somewhere else like 76. This video came out a little bit late, so we should drop it when we hit 75, but yeah, I've been really busy, sorry about that. Yeah, we're a road to 100k, so today in this video, I'm going to be ranking all 25 films I've seen in the cinema. So this is the full list. Be sure to think what the predictions you may think of what your favourite is out of all these 25. But here's the list, and then I'll do a ranking. So we got Brave, Wreck-It Ralph 2, Jumanji, The Next Level, Transformers Age of Extinction, Transformers The Last Night, Monster Trucks, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Infinite War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Into the Spider-Verse, Endgame, Far From Home, Let There Be Carnage, Shang-Chi, No Way Home twice, Batman, Morbius, Sonic 2, Doctor Strange 2, Jurassic World, Dominion, Thor Love and Thunder, Jack the Giant Slayer, and Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies. That's the full 25 movies I've seen in the cinema. So how I'm basing off this ranking is how good the cinema experience was, like being in the cinema, like the people who I was with and how it was, like the screening and everything. Was it 3D or normal or whatever, and the actual movie itself, how good the movie was. And then that should elevate the, if they're both good, then, you know, maybe the audience might be good, the movie might be down here, but sure, it'll be higher up than that. You get what I mean. But yeah, let's start off the list with number 25. We have Monster Trucks coming in at last place. And this movie was, yeah, I watched this movie in 2017 when the film came out. Honestly, really forgetful film. Just an average film. It's only good like the last bit where they like kind of do some Rocket League stuff or whatever. I watched this with my bro Curran, and yeah, he was like, yeah, he liked it more than me, but because he's more likes the cars and stuff. You had the guy from I forgot his name, X-Men Apocalypse, the guy who played Havoc. Yeah, had that dude in it as the main character. But yeah, the film was really bland, man, boring ass, and then I honestly give that film like a 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10. Yeah, the film's dead. Moving on to the next one. Number 24, we have Brave. And Brave is one of the Disney film. I watched this in year three with the whole school, so it's like a school trip thing. And yeah, this was a really annoying moment because I remember at the start when all the adverts coming out, I was with my boys, we were laughing our asses off with like some dumbass stuff, but then the most annoying thing happened because I was laughing so much, I was being an ass basically. The teacher grabbed me, and then I had to move, and I had to sit next to my teacher for the whole entire rest of the film. So I got shouted out, and then I was like, it just ruined the whole mood for me. And then, you know, I was just sat with the teacher, and I wasn't sat with the boys, so it was so annoying watching that film. Well, the film was good, I know that, but the theatre experience just ruins it because of that, what happened there. So yeah, it's in 24th place. Moving on, we have Jack the Giant Slayer, which I think came in like 2013, something like that. Honestly, I do not remember a thing. I just know I've seen it. I remember like couple blips, but it's basically Jack and the Beanstalk, but in live action. And so it was really dead, I can't lie. It was just a really crappy film. Went with my uncle and some family, and honestly didn't enjoy the film at all. I thought it was a bit trash. I can't remember it, to be honest. So yeah, it's 23rd place. Transformers 4, Age of Extinction. This is in 22nd place. I watched it 2014 when it came out. Honestly, I don't remember much in the cinema because what was that, about 7-8 years ago? I was quite young then. I do remember watching normal. I watched it with some of my other cousins. They're all older, so I was the youngest there, so I didn't really know what was going on. Yeah, I was just really disappointed because you had the new actor, you didn't have Shia LaBeouf, and the Transformers series was just dead. I didn't like that film at all because you had Galvatron with the whole Megatron thing. Starscream wasn't in it. Starscream's my favourite Transformer. And the whole film was just a bit ass, to be honest. So I just really couldn't be arsed with that film. Anyway, next, 21st place, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is another film I watched with my bro Curran. And we obviously watched it in 2018 when the film dropped. This is right after Infinity War and all that. So I was actually really excited to watching the film because the first one was so good. This one was ass, man. This one was a dead ass film, honestly. Dry as hell. I'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10. Like, Ghost was cool and all that. The fight scenes here and there were okay. but the whole story and everything, like Birch, that guy was annoying. Just really did not like. Oh, also, you know what made it worse? We had the worst seats. We sat in like the second row, so I was lifting my head up the whole time during the cinema. My neck was killing me. That was one of the worst theatre experiences. That's why the freaking film so like 21st, because honestly, like my neck was dying during the thing because we had the worst seats ever, man. We went opening day, so like loads of people were like screaming, but honestly, it was a pain in the ass to watch that. But the best bit was the after scene credit, you know what I mean? Moving on. Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. I think that's what the name is. I honestly don't remember much from the film, but this film was kind of disappointing, to be honest, with the whole dragon situation. I remember because my uncle was showing me the Hobbit films, the first two. I watched the second one first and then the first one. And then about 2 weeks later, we watched the third one came out. The story was fresh in my head, but that was ages ago. I don't know what the hell was going on. I just remember there was the dragon bit at the beginning, but the dragon died at like, the Smog, is it, something like that? He died in like 10 minutes, and then he wasn't seen again, and then obviously because he died. And then it was just, at the end, it was just loads of armies just fighting together. And Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings type shit, and I was like, this is a bit blur, like it's not my type of movies and whatnot, so I really was at fuss. Like the best bit was the dragon bit at the start, but other than that, it was a bit ass, so I give it like 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was just a meh film. Moving on to number 19, we have Jurassic World Dominion. So I watched this quite recently, 2 months ago, June 12th or something like that, so very early. I watched it with 2 mates, Alvin and Brooklyn. The film was all right, but kind of disappointing as well. It got me hyped, which is why it's higher than a lot of the other ones, because I actually got hyped during the cinema, but then it just went down straight. It was like, as soon as you get the big ones coming out, it's like, oh, it's sick, but then nothing happens really. And then obviously the T-Rex fight at the end is so short. It's a good fight, but like compared to the one Jurassic World, the first one was so much better. And Dominion, like the story was all over the place. There's a lot of dinosaurs in it, which is good, but it's still like, it's just the storyline was all on. Best bit, okay, yeah, was the raptor chasing. That was the best thing in the whole thing. Like that whole bit in Motor or something like that. Yeah, that was the best scene in the film. So badass. But yeah, and then it just didn't get any better after that. Yeah. I've got my Moveroo right there, so just click on that or something. One of them two, if you want to see that. Number 18, Transformers: The Last Knight. And it hurts because I'm a massive Transformers fan before I was even a Marvel fan. And the fact that these two films are like low on the list, but it's a bit Last Night, the reason why this one's higher than the other ones is because I watched this in 3D, which was really cool to see. Transformers in 3D, which is badass. But I'm just saying that the first 3 Transformer films were so good. But yeah, this one I think was better than the 4th one. I just hate that 4th one, man. The Last Night, because you had Prime. Megatron was back, Megatron was cool. Yeah, Barricade in it, he doing little bits. You didn't get like much stuff going on. A bit more action here and there. The Bumblebee vs Optimus Prime was pretty badass. Like seeing it in 3D, we just made it really cool. So it's just miles better than watching it in regular and stuff. So just the 3D aspect alone elevates this film to number 18. Then there was like, I remember laughing once during the film. It was when Hound said something like, "Yo, he didn't say hi to me," or something like that. To Optimus, because, you know, he turned evil and he came back and that. But yeah, that's 18th. Yeah. Number 17th, we have Wreck-It Ralph 2. Break the Internet or something, right? So this was another one I watched in a school trip when I was in year 10, so 2018. So it was a good ass film, I can't lie. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't better than the first one. The first one was so good, man. The first one was like up there, like top tier Pixar film, like one of the best, top 5, easy. Second one didn't have it, man. I don't know, especially with that last bit, totally ruined it. Like, having a massive bit of Wreck-It Ralph, I was, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Like, I think it lost the plot there. But the middle act was probably really good. And the bit with Gal Gadot's character, she was amazing. The whole car stuff was going on, it was really cool. And the driving and that. And then, the Disney bit, when they go into the Disney World, all the Disney princesses in it, was pretty sick. But then you had the Disney characters, you had Iron Groot, you had like Star Wars shit going on. But then, yeah, that whole area in the Disney World was so sick. It was so sick. And seeing like the new Disney princesses, like the old ones, like in the 3D, like Cinderella and like Bella and some of the others, like, it's pretty sick. And then they came back in the end to like do some saving or something. But that was pretty cool. Yeah, other than that, it was just a bit of meh film, you know. It wasn't the best. More like 5 out of 10 still, 5.5. Yeah, 17th place. Number 16th was the last film I saw in cinema, which is Thor: Love and Thunder, coming in at 16th place. This is an annoying one because I do like the film. I can't remember what I gave it. Did I give it a 6 out of 10? I think I did, or 7 out of 10, something like that. I liked it a lot more in the movie review, but now thinking more over it, and it's a bit now, you know what I mean? But yeah, Thor. I thought it was going to be so good, but then it's just missing Hulk and Loki, which is so, the two guys you just really needed that made it Ragnarok so good. And this one, you know, Gore, yeah, I think he did need to be in it a lot more and all that. He wasn't in it enough. He was a good villain though. Like, every time Gore was on the screen, honestly, it was so badass, man. All the fights, I really loved it, enjoyed all the fight scenes. I didn't really get like super hype and get out of my chair. Well, I can't remember anyway, but yeah, it was just a decent enough film. Like, yeah, 7 out of 10. It'll do, you know what I mean? I think from here, 15th onward, were all like really good films. Like films I'm very happy with. Coming into the top 15, we have Aladdin. Aladdin 2019, I think. Yeah. So I watched this with my family. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. We went to the new cinema. I don't know. We were at holiday at the time. I forgot where we went holiday, to be honest. But it was my birthday. And we watched Aladdin for my birthday, which was, you know, it was a good present, really, because I enjoyed it. I've always loved the cartoon, and the live action one is pretty good. But the one thing I was disappointed with was the final bit, because it really annoyed me, because I was waiting for the whole movie, right? You know, when Jafar gets all big, massive, powerful, he turns to a red being, and then there's supposed to be some mad fight. There was nothing. They just like did some thing with it, did the ankles or whatever, and then he just lost all his power, and then there was no fight scene at all. There was just a stupid like bird and like chasing him and everything, which was but yeah, there could have been some sick like CGI fight or something. Could have been mad. But Will Smith was really good in that role. Like as the genie, he killed it, and Aladdin was badass. Jasmine was good as well. Like I really enjoyed it. Like that first bit with Aladdin, like, you know, running away from all the people trying to kill him and stuff. I forgot what the first song is. Oh, what's it called? Yeah, but when he's doing that shit, doing the parkour and all that, it's really, really cool. I really enjoyed that shit. And then Prince Ali. But, you know, hey, Aladdin was a badass film, man. I enjoyed that. I'd probably give that 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10 film. I think most of these now are 8 out of 10 films. Anyway, coming in 14th place, Jumanji, The Next Level. So, 2019 again. I watched this film twice in the cinema. Kind of mad, I know. It's kind of annoying the second time having to watch it. But the first time I watched it was with school. Year 11, was it? Watched Aladdin. Not Aladdin, what the fuck is it? Jumanji, The Next Level. And I enjoyed it, because the first one, I said the first one is better, but it's not. They're very, very close, you know what I mean? Like, first one might be a little bit better, but the second one, I really, really enjoyed the whole aspect of switching powers. Like, that shit was really nice. And that's to add in, like, the water thing. Having the characters all, like, mixed up and stuff. And the two new ones was but it made sense near the end of it. The new villain, what was it, Blitzblade or something like that? He was alright. He was just there. Yeah, The Rock and Kevin Hart obviously funny as. I did enjoy the film. Oh, I enjoyed it a lot the first time. It was quite a long film as well. There's a lot going on. Which is the fight scene with that big Viking guy. That was pretty sick, and the jet and all that. The one that was a bit annoying was I had to watch it again, like legit 2 weeks later, around Christmas time or something, obviously with the family. And the family wanted to watch Jumanji 2. It's so annoying. I just watched it with school, and then like watching it again the second time was like that's why it's kind of like 14th place, because you know, it's like, damn, man. It's like, well, that's when you watch a movie a second time and you don't enjoy it. It's a good enough movie to watch the first time. You don't need to see it again. I still rate that movie at 8 out of 10. Very good film. Coming in 13th place, we have Morbius. This is another film I love. I loved it in the cinema. Like, oh man, it was just such a good film. I don't know why people hating it. I kind of know why, but I just love it because it's like my type of film. Like, I love the Venom films and Morbius. Like, I love what Sony's doing. The only thing I would say is, like, I feel like if this came out when it was supposed to come out 2020, probably would have been so much better, because we would have the proper Michael Keaton stuff going on, because all the scenes got cut out and shit. So I'm like, damn, kind of annoyed on that part. And I don't know if we'll ever get to see those scenes. And there was a lot of other scenes, like where he's doing that Nightcrawler effect when he like, in the first trailer that we saw, police cars chasing him that we never got to see. So I feel like there's a lot more stuff in there that could be mad, that could elevate the film higher, but they've just cut it out, which Sony love to cut out shit, man, which is one thing that pisses me off. But no, I still love the film. Another thing that annoyed me was the final part was a bit short. It was like really short when he just chucked bats at him and all that. But the rest of the film was so good. I loved how he got his powers and all that. Like the effects, like when he does the echolocation, like the the visual effects were so on point, like so good. I've seen the film 3 times now because I freaking love the film. Yeah, visual effects are on point, like echolocation, like wow, there's blood and shit. The fact that there's blood in it makes it a lot better. I know it's PG-13, but they pushed it a little bit, you know what I mean, showing a bit more. Like, unlike like some of the Venom films where you see zero blood and shit, and some of the Marvel films and that. But yeah, Morbius like is very good. It's very. I really enjoy the film. So moving on to 12th place, we have The Batman. Now, The Batman, number 12. The big part of this was, like, it's one of those films, like, it's 8 out of 10. I went into this a lot in my movie review, but it's like, the amount of disappointment I had during it. Like, it's the best Batman film, easily, but it's like, damn. It's like, I thought it was going to be a lot better. Like, the fight scenes really let me down, man. It's like, the fighting just wasn't there. Like, from that first trailer, when you saw that when he beats up that one thug guy, and it's so good, like that bit alone is so good. But then you watch it in the film and it's like, that's the best bit that happened in the whole thing. Like, seriously? And it was watching the trailer and it's like, all the best shit happens in the trailer, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, legit every single like good bit is all in the trailer, which is like whole spoiled. It just pissed me off because like, it's like, I've seen all this movie already if you're gonna show all the best shit, you know what I mean? That's so annoying, so annoying. Like, that's why it just annoyed me a lot more. So I was seeing it with one of my best mates, Rochi, which you must have seen a lot on this channel. But yeah, I saw it with him. He loved the film so much. I know he's gonna love it because he's a big DC fan. But for me, honestly, the story was so good. Like, big respect. Like, the story of it, that's why it's in 12th place. Cause the story is just, it's too elite. Like, the story is just on another level. Like, it's really, really good. And I love like the Falcone storyline in it, and then the whole. Who was the villain again? Riddler. Riddler was pretty cool. But the one problem with, there was no fight scene with Batman or the Riddler. They didn't fight, which is stupid as well. I know that did annoy me as well. But the story was amazing. The action was so shit. Like, it just wasn't good. Like, compared to Ben Affleck, like, you see him fighting, bro. It's so good, man. Like, that warehouse scene can't top that shit. But yeah, it's just disappointing. A lot of these films now, like the next like 6 films or something, there's just disappointment. That's why they wouldn't be higher. But because big expectations, but you know, it is what happens. Coming in 11th place is Venom: Let There Be Carnage. Yeah, this was a very hard ranking because like Morbius, Batman, Venom 2, and the 2 above this one, it's like I could mix them out. On a good day, they could be anywhere. You know what I mean? But I was like, just to place it somewhere was really, really hard with these 5. But it's in this order. So, Venom 2. I like this one, but it's like, it annoyed me as well. It was an 8 out of 10 film, another 8 out of 10. Like, I just love Carnage so much. Like, he's one of my favourite, legit, top 3 characters. Carnage, Red Hood, and Spider-Man and that. Venom. And, like, Carnage, they done him dirty. That's the thing, man. It's like the first time we see Carnage in live action. And they gave him, like, he looks really good, but then they killed him off, which pissed me off. He's got a deep-ass voice, which is so annoying. It's like, why is his voice deep? It should be, like, chaotic, like, lower pitched. And
guess I could say you asked for this, Red Man. Snack time!
Cletus Cassidy is just, he just wasn't a psychomaniac, you know what I mean? Like, how he is in the cartoons and the comics and that. Like, he's not, honestly, like, sick in the head and all that shit. And he would have been good with the wig as well. Like, Woody Harrelson, I liked him better in the post-credit scene of Venom, the first one. Then they chopped his hair off, gave him normal shit. He didn't really have red hair anymore.
Too bad.
Like, it was, honestly, he was a better villain than the first villain. Way better than Riot, easily. But still, it was like, it was short as well, which is only an hour and a half. But the fight was good. All the fight, like Venom vs. Carnage, like them fighting was so good. The whole cathedral bit was just amazing. It was amazing to see. It's just the Carnage bit that really let me down. But besides that, we got to see so much Carnage in this film, and that's the main thing I wanted to see. Like, Carnage, just the prison break, the bit with the freaking cars and shit. Like, all that shit was so fire, man. I loved it. I loved it. That's why I was in the cinema. I was like, yo, this is Carnage, man. But I hope they bring you back for the next one, like Multiverse or something. But yeah, it's just a character alone. That's why it just brings my Venom's in it. He's doing his thing, and I enjoyed that. The only bit I didn't like is when the Venom and Eddie fight each other. I was like, I didn't really want them to fight because, you know, I like them together. You know what I mean? That's Venom 2. 11th. Now, let's jump right into the top 10. We have Avengers Endgame. If you know me, I hate Endgame a lot, man. I know I give it so much hate, but then I gotta think of it realistically. I was gonna put this one much lower because I was just really, really disappointed. But the thing is, the shit that did happen in it, you know what I mean? You gotta give it some respect and whack it in the top 10 because there was elements that I did get really hyped, especially in that final battle. And just like the first time you seen Avengers Endgame was mad. But I just remember like the first hour, it's the most boringest thing ever. It's nothing's happening, and it's just so boring. I was there on the Monday, so like it was a packed house theater. Like obviously the film came out Friday, so I watched it Monday. So obviously I went to school Monday. Bro, everyone was throwing spoilers at my head. I was so annoyed. I got spoiled like a couple. I was like, oh, Black Widow dies. I was punching people in school. I was getting so much when anyone's talking. I was like this the whole day, which pissed me off as well. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it was a long day. But anyway, the theater experience was alright. Like, biggest bit I got hyped was when Scarlet Witch came down and she saw Thanos. Like, that was the bit when I nearly jumped out of my seat. I nearly did. I was like, I did a little like one of them. I was like, yo, I was hyped as shit. That was the best part of Endgame, I think, what I remember of. But yeah, when Scarlet Witch, and that whole shit, Scarlet Witch versus Thanos, man, that was like, boy, that was mad. Loved it. Like, obviously, the portal scene when everyone comes back is sick. Like, the whole hour is honestly, yeah, it's the best thing in the world. Like, just that freaking hour of Endgame. But the other shit, like, I'm not a big fan of time travel anyway, so I didn't really care about the second act. It was okay, I guess. Overall movie, didn't have it, man. It's like a 7 out of 10 at best. Because I did have, you know, I remember during that last act, I was like really hyped and shit. But then it let me down again when Hulk didn't get his revenge on freaking Thanos. And then ruining my favourite two characters, Hulk and Thor, making them absolute dog shit in the film. Like, honestly, it pissed me off. So it was all over the place for me. So just in 10th place, Endgame. So guys, moving into 9th place, we have Spider-Man Far From Home 2019. So this film honestly was the biggest cinema I've seen. We watched it in IMAX 3D, which was massive. Like, the cinema was so big, so watching that film was so lit, which is why it elevates like the thing up a bit more, because it reached into that 9th place. Because yeah, the movie was good, and Mysterio is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains ever. So seeing him on the big screen, just like the illusion shit, like the illusion scene in 3D was so lit. I loved that bit. That was the best part of the film. Mysterio kicking Spider-Man's ass, like through the punching through the snow globe, the spiders and shit. Like, that whole scene was like 4 minutes and a half, but yeah, that was honestly a really, really good scene. The film as a whole, there was a couple of action sequences here and there. You had Molten Man, Hydro Man, the twist at the end where it's actually just the drones. Oh, it was annoying that they cut out a fight scene, the Iron Spider fight scene at the beginning of the film. Now that would have been really nice to see, but unfortunately they all had that for the re-release or something. Well, a couple of things that annoyed me about the film, like Mysterio, they didn't have him. I know they had the illusion stuff and all that, but they had him in like a costume and stuff. They didn't actually have the guy in like a suit, like they had the fishbowl head. They just had him in a mocap suit, which was a bit crappy. Could have done Mysterio slightly better, I feel, like come out accurate a bit more. But overall, he was good. But yeah, I think I gave the film 8 out of 10, something like that. Yeah, so it's another solid film. In 8th place, we have Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, this film was so good. 2017. Now, I've got to say, this film did not disappoint me one bit, which is kind of mad. Homecoming, honestly, so much action in it. And like the storyline and everything was on point. And I just really, really enjoyed Homecoming. Like, it's just amazing first film for Spider-Man. There's a lot of high school stuff. I really like the high school elements and all that, what's going on. You know, you got Vulture, which Vulture, I've never been a massive fan of him. He's always been like one of the lesser Spider-Man villains, because he's always like really shit and easy to beat. But they changed him up, which I think was better, because they made him mechanized and all that, which is pretty cool. And yeah, Adrian Toomes in this film was, yeah, Michael Keaton did his thing. Like that scene with the gun car, like, oh, I was dying. Like, that's the biggest twist. I've never seen anything coming. Like, Liz Allen, I think, was it Liz Allen, did they call it that? Was Adrian Toomes' dad. Like, that's a good thing that Sony did. Like, I know they're changing it up, because that's never in any of the other Spider-Man shit that came before it, or, you know, comics and all that. But they added that twist on, and no one saw that coming. Like, I remember in the scene, I was like, what? No way is he dad. And like, there's so much like good action like in the film. Like, the best in it, probably the shit on the ferry, yeah. And Iron Man's in it as well. Good to see Iron Man in the film. That and the Shocker bit, you know, when the Shocker's like, bah, bah. Yeah, Shocker in the film, like Shocker's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains as well. So seeing him be more badass, like up and coming, I really hope we get to see Shocker in the future films because he's really sick, man. And being a part of the Sinister Six, like, I would love to see Shocker, man. But yeah, like it was really good, badass film. Easily, I give that film like a 9 out of 10. So moving on into 7th place, we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This is in 7th place, and yo, yeah, I watched this in 3D and bro, I loved it. I loved it. It was so good. This one I was like a little bit disappointed, but not really. Here and there, but I really, honestly enjoyed the whole film. I know it could have been like another half an hour long and added more cameos in, which would have made it a lot better. But still, as a whole, I really, really enjoyed Doctor Strange. Like, just I get the story that I went for, and I think the other thing is that the internet built it so high up, you know, with the cameos and everything that was going to happen, that's why it went down a little bit. But I wasn't expecting, I didn't have my expectation too high. I had like just the right point, so I'm honestly, yeah, I was a bit disappointed that, you know, all the cameos didn't come in, like Wolverine and all that shit, Quicksilver, and Magneto, he should have really been in it, his ways. But I'm really glad we've got Professor X, Fantastic Four, that was pretty sick, Mr. Fantastic. Black Bolt, didn't see him coming, a random one, didn't really care. Kept some on a bit of shit, another shit one, but yeah, that whole Illuminati scene was sick, like Wanda, like. Another reason why the film was so good is because we get to introduce to the villain straight away. Like Wanda twist. When she's not even like working together or nothing. Wanda, boom, is the villain. And she's so good. She's so good in this film, man. Amazing antagonist. Like, honestly, killed it. Doctor Strange's film was cool. And honestly, watching it in 3D, like, all the shit happening was so lit, man. All the, you know, spell shit. Like, it's too good. It was too good. 9 out of 10, that film. It was just an amazing experience. Coming in 6th place, we have... Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Honestly, this is one of the best films I've seen. Like, honestly, I really, really love this film. I love this film so much. Honestly, a big reason why this is the best theatre experience I've had in maybe second best, because the first one, honestly, that might top this one. But honestly, one of the best times I had in the theatre, because I had all my boys. There was like 6 of us, and oh, it was so fun in the theatre. Like, all of us were having a blast, man. It was so funny as well. Honestly, I had an amazing time with the boys, man. Just at the start, just people like fighting over seats because, you know, we didn't have a full 6 rows, so we had to do 3 at the back, 3 in front of us. And then obviously everyone wanted to sit in certain places, and one guy got left on his own. Then one dude went to the toilet, and then the other one ran up. They were like fighting over the seats about it. It was hilarious. And then we played hide and seek in the theatre afterwards, and that was lit. Yeah, it was honestly a really good theatre experience. That's why it's so hard. But the film, let's get to the film itself. Sonic 2, honestly, it's so good. Like, I loved it. It's 2 hours, yeah. Badass runtime. Like, everything in the film, like the villain, you got Jim Carrey, he's funny as shit, but Knuckles in the film is honestly so dope, man. I just loved it. We've got 3 badass fights. The tempo one was a little bit short, but it was really cool. Like, when the yeah. Like, honestly, the fighting, it's just a really, really good film. Like, honestly, Sonic 2, like, I was like watching it, I think I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 film. I know what you're thinking, like, what, Homecoming and Doctor Strange, 9 out of 10? But, you know, that theatre experience was on another level. That's why it's up in 6th place. Yeah, but the film, oh, it's just, everything. I don't have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get disappointed at all, which is another bonus. No disappointment. It's just excitement all the way. And it's like, yo, the shit happening, like, scenes are so cool. Like, the whole temple bit where they're trying to escape from the room, that was really cool. It's like Sonic going through the shit, like the way he uses powers and everything. Super Sonic at the end. I never saw that shit coming, and then he comes out of nowhere. And that was badass when Sonic comes through. But it's like such a good sequel, man. Yeah, very, very good film. Like, you know, all 3 of them working together as well, Knuckle, Sonic and Tails. Like, that was really sick. Like, there's so much shit going on. I really love the snow sequence as well. You know, and the wedding. Like, obviously there's some bits you know, every time it cuts to the human stuff, but then there's so much, like, you know, actual Sonic in it, so it's like, it's not even that bad. But yeah, a really good story. Loved the film. Amazing. Okay, guys, now let's get to the top 5 films. We have, coming in 5th place, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, let me say, this was an amazing film. I love this film. Honestly, was this a 10 out of 10? I think this is probably a 10 out of 10 film, yeah, easily. I don't really have a problem, because the fighting, the action, like the Chinese martial art film, Oh, it was just so good. Like the action in this thing, Shang-Chi was so like that bus thing. The first like fight in the bus, bro, it was so long. The shit that was going on like was mad. It was like, yo, was jaw dropping. The only thing that annoyed me, right, was the theater experience. Was like, It's not a big deal or anything. I was with two of my mates, my cinematographer Zane and Rochi. We were in the cinema, and I had like a half sleeve top on because it was actually a warm day. Obviously, when I got in the cinema, I didn't bring like a jacket or nothing, so I was freezing. I was freezing in there. So I was kind of annoyed because of how cold it was. I was really, really cold in there. For some reason, I had the AC on or something. The Abomination bit, I wish was a little bit longer because, you know, there was a massive hype for that scene. And it was kind of short, which that's the only bit like could have been better. But Shang-Chi, bro, oh, the fighting is on another level. The shit on the freaking, I never even knew that a fight scene was gonna happen. You know, the shit on the flipping through the side of the building like that. That whole scene was mad. The fact that they just keep going fight scene, fight scene, fight. There was about 14, 15 fighters in this whole film. Like there was so many, and I was like, yo, and don't even get me the ring shit when freaking the father. I love the father's character, bro, but. The fact is how cool the fighting was, bro. Like the fight at the beginning with the mother and the Mandarin, oh, bro, it was so lit. Like how they're like showing their powers and they're like, respecting, mate. It's just how the fight choreography and everything was so clean. And then you have the Shang-Chi versus both the fights with his dad were so good, man. Especially when Shang-Chi's got the rings as well, and they're both like doing shit like, bro, it was so good. And you had the final battle with the dragon at the end. Yeah, that was decent enough. But the action was so good. Like that is really like one of the best action films ever. Like honestly, on another level, the action. That's why it's top 5, easy top 5. Shang-Chi is up there. Coming in 4th place, we have Thor Ragnarok. And bro, Thor Ragnarok, honestly, going into this film, I was like, bro, Thor, let's go. Like Hulk and Thor, let's get it. And bro, it's one of the most funniest things I've ever seen. Like so funny. Amazing ass film. Like I was just in there with my dad. Me and my dad loved it. Thor, badass. Like him losing his hammer, I was like, damn. But then like it was really funny. Like the jokes and everything was actually funny. Not like in Love and Thunder where the jokes were like kind of ass. You know, seeing the good relationship with Thor and Loki was really nice to see. And Hulk, obviously, every time he's in there, he's just funny as. Obviously, you got a little bit of Bruce Banner in there as well. He's like, damn, 2 years? Been Hulk for 2 years? Yeah, you got a mad fight. Hulk versus Thor in their arena. That was so badass to see. In fact, that Thor, like, actually beat Hulk. Like, it's kind of mad. Like, Thor is actually the strongest Avenger. That's why he's my favourite character, favourite Marvel MCU character. And damn, like, so badass how he beat him as well. Because obviously, you know, Grandmaster did that shit. But Grandmaster never did that thing. You know Thor was winning. So, Thor... Hey man, he's up there. And then that shit at the end, you know, on the Rainbow Bridge, that whole fight scene, yeah, that was sick. Hela was such a good villain as well. She was doing a thing in the film, like grabbed the hammer and like the whole story folding. Yeah, it's amazing film. Loved it, man. Thor Ragnarok up there, top 4, man. Coming in at number 3, we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. One of the best animated films I've ever seen. Miles Morales' story. I went to see this with my best mate Lucas. Honestly, we had the time of our lives in there. And bro, like every time like a new character comes, it's like damn. I was always just seeing who could name the character the quickest, and then this guy beat me on Scorpion. I was like, who's that? And he's like, Scorpion. I was like, wait a minute. Ah, shit, you beat me. Because it was funny. You know when Scorpion comes through, freaking house fight. I really loved that house fight. But Prowler's character, it was so good. Honestly, the film is a 10 out of 10. Easy 10 out of 10 film. But yeah, Miles Morales, man, he's just that badass a character. Obviously, you had like Peter B. Parker and all that, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham. He was funny in that. The techno, I don't really care about that one. Badass film. Kingpin was a really good villain. You had like the full Sinister Six as well. He wasn't really doing much, but yeah, Doc Ock was really good. I like that twist. It's like, what's your name again? Dr. Octavius? I was like, oh shit, it's Doc Ock. That was a pretty mad scene because we had no idea in the trailer either that was Doc Ock. It was like, oh my god. But Prowler was a very good villain. Aaron Davis. Yeah, that guy was a madness. That was the maddest bit when he dies and then he's like, damn. Like, you're just feeling sorry to Miles and all that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that was such a mad scene. Yeah, Spider-Verse is like built different, man. And they actually killed Peter Parker off. Like, bah! Kingpin at the start, which is a mad starting. Amazing film, 10 out of 10. Coming into number 2, my second favourite film of all time goes to Spider-Man No Way Home. Yes, No Way Home. It's the film that I've seen twice in the cinema. I first saw it on Boxing Day, which is lit. And I watched it again in February. In a couple of days, I'm going to be watching it again because the re-release September 2nd. I don't know when this video is going to be out. But I already know that this film is a 10 out of 10. My only problem is the runtime. It should have been longer and all that, because Sony cuts out friggin' minutes out the film. But we're gonna get some of that back now, so it's alright. But I was hoping the real release would have been like a good like 15-20 minutes. Like, come on, man. Like, I want to see that Green Goblin versus Toby. We all want to see that fight. You better put it in the movie. Bro, it just starts off with madness. There's a great fight scene, Electro. Oh, bro, just all the villains coming back, man. Yeah, we've got Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Electro, Sandman, Lizard, like all 5 of them. I just wish there was one more, you know, Sinister Six and all that. But hey, the 5 is best, man. But yo, seeing my boy Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, the OG come back, I was like, damn. What a moment. But I wish we got like a suit reveal thing with him, because he was saving his suit. I feel like they deleted that something. I feel like we got the actual Toby putting his suit on, like his music coming back. I wish they played the theme songs as well. Obviously with Amazing Spider-Man as well, Andrew Garfield. I wish they played both of the theme songs. It would have been sick, man. The final battle, badass, loved it. Yeah, I think the best scene was definitely that bridge fight. Spider-Man versus Doc Ock, like that shit was insane. I loved that bit. That was the start of the film, and bro, it was so good, man. What a fight, man. I wish we got to see the Green Goblin, like that extended fight scene, fight him on the bridge. Like, that would have been really sick, man. It's like, damn, they cut it off right when it's getting good. But yeah, my favourite part of the whole film was just the villains talking to each other. Like, yeah, shit, did I die? Liz is like, bro, Max, did I die? And Sandman's like, yo, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, you both died, man. I was like, damn, it's like, what a scene, bro. I love that scene. Just the villains just chatting. Like, the villains are really, really amazing in this film. That is second. Now, you're probably thinking, what the hell's first? Coming in first place, my favourite film of all time, Avengers Infinity War. This is a mad ass film. I love this film to bits. It's the only film I actually jumped out my seat and I was screaming. I was like, yo! I was in the first 5 minutes when Hulk versus Thanos came up. I was jumping up and I was like, yo, let's go. I was in there, bro. When I saw that, I was like, everything you want to see, bro. Oh, already Hulk versus Thanos, and it was the maddest shit ever. Hulk got absolutely battered, bro. Like, seeing Thanos do that shit, that knee, oh my god. I remember when that knee came, I was like, damn. I thought I got hit in the head, bro. They flipped him, I knocked out, bro. Hulk was done. Like, it's so good, man. And just the starting, bro, that whole scene with Loki and Thor was so sad as well. Yeah, shit Thor's been through. Seeing him talk to Raccoon is like, damn, I've lost my mother, father, my sister, my best friend, my own brother. God damn, he's lost a lot. And he's like, what more could I lose? He was like, fucking Thor was so good. Like, when Thor came in freaking Wakanda, that scene was the best shit as well. Bring me Thanos! Boom! Like, that shit was so lit, man. Oh, man, it was the best film ever. I loved it to bits. And you know what's better? The villain wins. Thanos was so good, bro. He's such a badass villain. The best thing, obviously, was the Titan fight. Like, that shit on Titan, bro. Spider-Man just getting absolutely knocked out, bro, by Thanos. Like, bro, that was shit. It was mad. Doctor Strange doing his thing. That was sick. That one-on-one was mad as well. Yeah, and then Iron Man coming in. Bro, clutch. Making him bleed. Oh, man. Like, that whole shit. And there's just non-stop action in the third act, man. When Thanos comes through with the portal and then he sees all the other Avengers, and that team is so shit. He's doing all that shit in slow motion, beating up the crap out of all of them. And then Cap's like, punch, boom, knocks out. Scarlet Witch, I wish could have done a bit more, but it's obviously she was holding him back with one hand. And if she had like both hands on him, she could have done some mad damage. Hey, it's so cool. It's so cool because at the end of the day, my boy Thanos got the win. That's what I love, because I actually love villains so much. I like villains more than the heroes. Seeing the villain win in the film was so good, man. I'm always a bad guy lover. And yeah, the villains winning was the best shit, man. Thanos winning, like, damn, and it ended it straight on that. I was a happy man walking out that cinema. The snap, boom, everyone disappearing. Best film, man, best film. Easily better than freaking shitty old Endgame and that. But I wish like Hulk was going to rage out at the end. But obviously we never got that. But at least in this film we got Hulk versus Thanos at the beginning, which was so badass. And the storyline was mad as well. Infinity War, best film. So guys, it's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed my ranking of all 25 films I've seen in the cinema. It was a big one. Also, thank you again for 75,000 subscribers. We are on the road to 100k. That's the end of this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. See you in a bit. Peace. Hey.